volunteers are really, really important to the fabric of any community. So that brings me to our very special presentation. Last year, as you might recall, was the 150th anniversary of the province of Manitoba entering Confederation. And the government had all kinds of wonderful things planned, but of course, we won't name the reason why, but they did get put on hold. But as part of those celebrations, they came up with the Honour 150 Volunteer Award, and they asked for nominations. And so Shaun and I, immediately, our thoughts went to one person. And so we did nominate that person, and Ralph McLean also nominated someone, and there were other people too in the Paw area that were also nominated. But a couple of those award winners are here tonight, so that's what we're going to do now, is present their award. So with the pandemic last year, they did postpone the celebration, and then they were going to do it this year, and then they contacted us this summer and they said, you know, we're not going to be able to do it still. So would you, as the nominators, be willing to organize something of your own, celebration of your own? So we said sure. So on that note, I'd like to call on Ralph McLean to come up for the first presentation.
Welcome, everybody. The award itself was only given to 150 volunteers in the province, and we're lucky enough to recognize 3 of those people here today. The first presentation here is to Terry McKellep. Terry McKellep doesn't pick and choose what she volunteers her time for anymore. Most people in the community know her by name, and projects seem to seek her out rather than the other way around. McKellep has been a member of the Royal Canadian Legion since 2000, acting as first and second vice president, and a volunteer for Pasquac Indigenous Days for many years. McKellep was also the first Indigenous president of the Rotary Club, a position she held in 2009. At 65, there isn't much she hasn't done. She wishes everyone could have had a long and exciting life, but being old is absolutely brilliant, she says. McKellep has also volunteered every week since 1983. I put Terry in for McKellep because I've never seen her sit still for more than 5 minutes. And I could go on for the next 20 minutes of why I think Terry McKellep very much deserves this award. But without further ado, I'd like to recognize Terry McKellep. Certificate. Wow. And wow. Where's Shaun? Shaun, can you take some photos, please?
Wow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ralph, honestly, for nominating me. It's been an absolute honor to do that. To volunteer. Like as you know, our community runs on volunteers. It's not just me. It's lots of people that volunteer in this community, from the ladies at the hospital auxiliary, to Pasquac Indian Days, to the Kinsmen, to the Kinets who just started, the Lions Club, who again, you know, they're gone on their way now. They're not here no more. The Elks had started this, I think, back when the PAW first started during, you know, Harry Treger days. So it's just, I'm just the one getting the award, but really, our whole community runs on volunteers. So thank you, everybody, and it's an absolute honor. Thank you.
Our next award's going to be made in absentia. Sandra Margaret Bartlett has been volunteering with the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 19 Ladies Auxiliary since 1994. She has served as first vice president for over 10 years, and as well as the secretary and the phoning and publicity chairman for the Legion. She has also served on the canteen committee and membership committee. The Ladies Legion Auxiliary is the backbone of this community. They have spent over $500,000 people hours supporting events in this community like banquets and funerals. Bartlett used to volunteer at least 8 hours a week, but in recent times she's had to cut back due to health concerns. She still makes time, however, to help set up with preparing food for teas, banquets, funerals, and fundraising events. She works tirelessly in her community. Others describe her as a silent hero, the kind that shows up, works hard, and never asks for recognition. In accepting on her behalf, we'll be giving the same medals and certificate to Terry, and then we'll later present them to Margaret on her behalf at a little later date. She's prepping for surgery and thus couldn't come out to the ceremony. So something on her behalf, Terry McKellep, or Margaret Bartlett.
So again, Margaret wanted to thank Ralph and Laurel Polisari for the nomination. Again, she's sorry she couldn't be here, but she said thank you very much, and it's an absolute honor to accept this on her behalf. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Do you want to do Cheryl, or do you want me to do Cheryl?
Terry, would you like to ask Amanda to come up?
Actually, I'd like to, yes. Okay. So again, thank you again, everybody. So now I'd like to ask Amanda Laughlin to come up for a few minutes. Thank you, Amanda.
Hello, everyone. It's an absolute honor to be standing here in front of you as your member of the Legislative Assembly. What I have here is a private member statement. What that is it's an opportunity for an MLA to recognize an individual, organization, or a group of people within our constituency in our way to honor them. So on March 11th, I did a private member statement honoring 4 wonderful women from our community. So allow me. Cheryl Antonio, Sandra Margaret Bartlett, Terry McKellep, and Olivia McCorston. These are the 4 inspiring women from the PAW that Manitoba 150 Committee selected to be honored as part of Manitoba's 150th anniversary celebrations for their tireless volunteer work that has helped shape the province as we know it. Cheryl has played a major role in reviving the Helping Hands 4-H Club for our youth and has tirelessly promoted the PAW, a Pasquia Cree Nation, the Arm of Kelsey over the years, running a Facebook group that promotes many events in our area. The other groups she's volunteered for are numerous and include the Friendship Center and the PAW Correctional Institute Library. Margaret has dedicated much of her time with the Royal Canadian Legion Branch number 19 Ladies Auxiliary for the past 27 years. The Legion itself has described as the backbone of our community, as collectively they volunteer countless hours supporting events in our community. Terry is very well known in the community, in parts thanks to her volunteer work. She's very passionate about her work with Northern Manitoba Trappers Festival and has been the president for the Rotary Club for many years. On top of that, she's been member of the Legion since 2000 and a volunteer for our celebration of a Pasquia Indian Days. Olivia has done extensive work in education, community building, including founding educational support such as the Sagiwen program, sorry if I butchered that name, helping open the Aboriginal Literacy Foundation, among many other initiatives. And she's also played an instrumental role in keeping Oscar's Place open, a homeless shelter in the PAW. These women were four of the 150 Manitobans who were selected by a jury to receive this honor, which includes a commemorative medal and $500 to be donated to the charity of their choice. They've made our community proud and also made our communities better through their selfless volunteerism. Ego Sam. Terry, will accept on behalf of Margaret?
Terry, will you accept on behalf of Margaret? Well, you heard Ralph say you never get to sit down, right?
So there you go, present to Margaret.
Again, what I'll do, because she's going for surgery, just so you guys know. So what I'll do is I'll sneak in her house and I'll put all this stuff there. So when she comes home, she'll be able to see it. So thank you very much, everybody. Honestly, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ralph, Terry, and MLA Amanda Laughlin. At this point, I will reveal that Shaun and I nominated Cheryl Antonio, so I'll tell you why. Cheryl has done so much for our community that if you've enjoyed any free public event over the years, there's a good chance it's because of her efforts. In fact, we wouldn't be having this Harvest Festival today if it wasn't for Cheryl, because she approached us on behalf of Arts Council and asked us to take it on. And we might do it next year. I don't know. What do you say? So in nominating Cheryl, we had to get specific about why she deserved a spot on the Honour 150 roll. Well, at any given time, Cheryl Antonio is actively involved in a number of volunteer roles and nonprofit activities. And they cover all the facets of what makes a community a good place to call home. Youth initiatives, services for those in need, promotion of arts and culture, environmental awareness and stewardship, and special events that bring neighbors together like this one. If I were asked to come up with a mission statement for Cheryl, it would be this. Cheryl Antonio helps build bridges to connect us in positive, productive relationships. We could list all the groups that have benefited from Cheryl's volunteer involvement, but it would take all evening, so I'm just going to mention the two current ones. The Paw Helping Hands 4-H Club. Cheryl single-handedly revived 4-H in the Paw area a number of years ago after it had been inactive for an entire generation. She is the head leader and puts great effort and imagination into making 4-H fun, relevant, and beneficial to youth, while developing in them good citizenship. And secondly, the Paw Arts Council. Cheryl is chair of the board for the Paw Arts Council, and she's also one of the coordinators of the Home Roots concert series, which brings affordable, quality musical performances to the Paw. And she is the principal organizer for the Storytellers Film Festival, which celebrates Northern and Indigenous filmmaking. Cheryl is a tireless champion of community involvement. A lot of people will volunteer occasionally when asked, but Cheryl puts an incredible amount of time and effort into not just helping others, but also spearheading initiatives herself and inspiring other people to join in to help. She's very humble and doesn't seek recognition for herself, so that's why we wanted to make a point of celebrating her today among family and friends. And lastly, I just want to let you all know that when we sent in our nomination for Cheryl, we had to include some letters of support. So here are some actual things that people wrote in their letters of support, and I'm quoting. I think Cheryl is a great example of what the Manitoba Honour 150 program is all about. The Paw is a much more vibrant and healthy community because of Cheryl's committed efforts. Cheryl is a shining example of an unsung hero and is an appropriate recipient for this award. And lastly, I can think of no person in our community who is more deserving of recognition for her efforts towards community health, vitality, and betterment than Cheryl Antonio. So Cheryl, if you're duly embarrassed or not embarrassed enough, please come up and accept your award.
Thank you. You're welcome. Very nice speech. Thank you. Thank you. Would you like me to put it around your neck? No, because there's a ribbon attached. Maybe later. Yeah. To dance around the fire. It's beautiful.
Oh, and there's one more thing. Stay there.
Congrats, Cheryl.
Hands, so.
Well earned.
Cheryl, this is from Shaun and I I know you love it. I saw it on Facebook that you liked it. So this is
thank you so much.
a special add-on.
Thank
so
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you.
Okay.